By way of introduction, this next film is a message particularly for PC Nick Dayton and councillor Oliver Cooper, who have been trying to stop me doing what I'm doing in Hampstead. I'm not going to read out the whole article, but basically I got a call in the end of October from a journalist from the Camden New Journal who told me that this policeman had been sending around messages bad-mouthing me in Camden or in Hampstead and trying to stop what I'm doing. I will put a link to the original article in the box here so that you can look at it. But that's the background for what's going on here. This message is primarily for the two of them, but also for your enjoyment too. Check out the article and enjoy the movie. Have a great 2017.
Anyway, I'm here to film a response to PC Nick Dayton. I don't know if he's on today, but he's more than welcome to come and join in. He's of the Hampstead Town neighbourhood team. Yes, he's hit the big time. And he's been saying that he wants to put a halt to my amplified addresses, which is an interesting way of describing them. I quite like that, actually, due to concerns that nearby shops could lose customers, right? Do you know what I mean? Now, the question is that the role of the police to make sure that nearby shops don't lose customers? So here we are, for example, outside this dead animal shop, yeah, where they quite happily display dead animals saying age 28 days, 14 days, 21 days, yeah, and there are children coming past here, and they've been conditioned to look at and think, oh, well, is that all right? That's fine to like just chop the animals down and, you know, hang them up in your store just for our pleasure when there's plenty of fruit and vegetables and nuts and all that. You know, now the thing is, if the Hampstead butcher people were, you know, from a business sense intelligent, they'd realise that the longer I'm here the better, because vegetarians are never going to go in the place, right? And meat eaters will probably deliberately go in there just to show vegetarians and vegans like myself that they have the right to eat dead animals if they want to. See there, you see, I'm not stopping anyone getting in. There are more psychotherapists per capita in Hampstead than any other part of the country, which is not, you know, it's very understandable. You look at the people going past, they're all quite anxious, as you can see. Most of them are either in therapy or therapists, and we know that therapists become therapists because they don't want to face their own crap. So, whilst we're talking about, I'm over here, whilst we're talking about, whilst we're talking about, you know, what's really going on, I would say to PC Nick Dayton, I'd say the reason why you're really angry about this is because you've had an amygdala hijack. Now, amygdala hijack, ladies and gentlemen, is a term coined by Daniel Coleman, who wrote Emotional Intelligence. Now, I have to admit, I would like to pretend that I've read all these books, but I haven't. But I have heard of that thing, and what it is when something happens, and your mind, gets triggered to something in your past, and then you have this attack. Your amygdala goes into a flight or fight mode, right? And you lose your ability to be logical, and it happens to most of us a lot of the time, every single day. So before I continue, Nick, with this presentation, which you're going to be able to see on YouTube, as are everyone else, what I'd like to invite you to do is to join me in a counting up to 30. Now, what that will do, Nick, for you is you're going to feel really agitated now. You're going to think, what a cheeky little git. I'm going to stop him doing this. You know what I mean? Who is in charge here, you might be thinking, right? So that is your fight or flight mode. Now, Nick, what we agreed was, didn't we, when we had that meeting with your inspector, Nick? We agreed that I wouldn't stay in any one place for too long a time, and if anybody came up to me, quite, you know, civilly, and suggested I should do this somewhere else, and gave me a half-reasonable excuse or reason, I would oblige, right? And that's what I've been doing, Nick, but what you've been doing, you naughty, naughty boy, is you've been sending emails around to people bad-mouthing me, haven't you, Nick? It's not very nice. Let's just have a look here. Hold on a second. Anyway, let me just read some of these funny things he's been saying, right? He has been instructed, this is what he said, he has been instructed not to use his megaphone in Hampstead, which is not true. So please, if you see him, can you drop me an email? I would like to curtail his activity before the Christmas shoppers come to Hampstead. There he goes again. Really, that's a really good use of police time. Let's make sure that, because imagine how it could be that someone will not get a side of lamb because of this. Do you know what I mean? That would be terrible, wouldn't it? That would be absolutely awful. Then these guys would have to be up there for 37 days. That would be terrible. Well, you know what? If I come here, maybe someone won't go into odd bins. You know, this particular branch of their 100 branches, or Starbucks, or whatever other big multinational corporation they've got here. That would be terrible, wouldn't it, Nick? He's been sending around an email to the people of Hampstead that I'm disturbing people. Now, the other thing that I thought was quite funny, by the way, this is also for the councillor, Oliver, what's his name? Oliver Cooper, who, by the way, has a prestigious part of his CV, which includes being a journalist for the Sun newspaper. Wow. Yes. Well, that's great. My goodness. From the Sun newspaper to a Conservative ward councillor. Perfect transition, don't you think? Yes. So Hampstead is well known for its artistic and musical heritage, for its social compassion, not from you, and its political radicalism. This man ticks none of those boxes. Instead of pretending he's a busker or part of a revolutionary movement that will bring down the middle class, I never knew I was doing that, but that's an interesting. It's right that police treat him as a public nuisance. Thank you, Oliver. Yelling abuse through a megaphone. As far as I know, I haven't never been that abusive. Maybe I had a little sort of go at people who like dead animals, but by the way, this is for you, Oliver, as well. I just want to let you know, both Oliver and Nick, I love and accept you as you are. That is my spiritual practice, is to love and accept everyone as they are, including myself, yeah? What you do is a different matter entirely. I don't really love and respect some of what you do, especially when it's got anything to do with me. Anyway, he added, yelling abuse through a megaphone at passers-by is not political protest or social commentary. It's not clever or witty or avant-garde. Oh, fair enough. He's really closing off all the options there, isn't he? He could have just said it's not clever, but no, clever or witty or avant-garde. In case you have thought, okay, it's not clever and it's not witty, but it is avant-garde. No, not according to him. It's not even avant-garde.
Now, later on that day, I was megaphoning slightly further up the road, and in fact, Oliver Cooper actually came out. He lives there, and he came out at first to shut me down and complain about what I was doing. But we ended up having an excellent conversation, which sadly wasn't taped. But I have to admit that I actually quite liked him. I liked a conservative, he was... What I liked about him is that he was very open. He really listened to what I was saying, and he was open to changing his view about things. And we agreed that if I was there again and he had a problem with it, all he needed to do is to come out and tell me, and I would happily relocate. And so it was nice to meet you, Oliver, and have a wonderful 2017.